Tony, it was a really good start tonight. Obviously, got to finish the next 2 days, but what did you like about tonight?
First thing was the fact we got to play. I mean, it was shaky weather throughout. I think in Chattanooga it was awful, but here it broke up a little bit. If we were still playing, they might have to stop the game now. So we were blessed just to play, and then anxious and blessed to get back out there and SEC play as well. The last time out was frustrating, and they bounced back well from that. And within that was some anytime you got the group doing something, there's some individuals and yeah, Reese Chapman took advantage of his opportunity, but Robin's last at bat was frustrating, and he responded well. Simo, in between the home runs, is doing his thing where he's throwing his helmet and all angry and all that stuff, and bounced back well. And then Billy made one of the best plays of the entire year after the one prior to it was probably frustrating. Normally he played it right, but because it was wet, it kind of skipped up on him. So there's a couple other examples too where you just saw some guys answer the bell the right way, and Causey seems to do that every time he pitches. I mean, if you pitch long enough in a game, you're going to get a punch in the gut every now and then, and he sets a good example for the rest of the staff on how to handle that stuff.
You mentioned Chapman. How has he improved from last year to now to be able to contribute at a high level?
I think just a little bit more presence, that sophomore year compared to freshman year. He's definitely become more physical. And then he's been able to tally up some reps. We went out and played this summer, and like some guys, I mean, he accumulated a lot of time in the summer. It's kind of a rare deal now where guys go out there and really compete an entire summer. But he was determined to do that and to get better. And he's always in here working. He's never complained about not getting a certain amount of repetitions, but I think really that's all that kid needs. It's hard for players. To get a small sample size, and they start to feel that pressure of I got to play well so I get more. And I wish they realized through a coach's eyes, we're just kind of seeing, we're looking through it a different way. You don't have to get a hit every time up to bat. But anyway, for him, he's a good player. He just needs to play.
He had that defensive mishap, I guess it was last Sunday. Did you say anything to him and the response tonight?
No, there was a time we chatted the next day just about the matchup that was on the mound, and of course Ensley's going to get his chances too, and I think Ensley came in for him later in the game. But on defense, it's just like Blake Burke just kind of had a little moment there where he thought he was fast, or like Carl Lewis, and gets thrown out at second base, whatever was going on there. I mean, they're young kids and they're trying hard because they want to win and they want to do well. So there's certain things that pop up. And Reese, if he ever makes a mistake defensively or offensively, it's not going to be because he's not prepared. It's not going to be because he's being selfish, and so on and so forth. So just kind of a blip on the radar screen on that deal.
You mentioned how wet it is out there. Did that change the approach in any way?
Not really. I mean, I think our guys know our landscape, that lightning, you don't like when that interferes, but it can. And rain can come, hard enough, I guess, that we'd have to pause or stop the game like we talked about now. But for the most part, our guys know when they come to work, they got to put in bring their lunch pail and put in a full day's work.
How would you assess Causey's outing?
Relatively typical. Good preparation going into the week. I mean, I keep a distance, but you talk to Frank and Richard and you watch, and good preparation, and then went out there and competed. And again, I think the one thing he does is has good presence or keeps things together when it doesn't go your way. A guy makes a mistake behind you, you don't get a call you want, or a guy puts a charge into one. You got to stay true to who you are. And if anything, he definitely does that. And of course, he's out there pitching in not the best circumstances either. Sorry. That's a good question. How long have you been thinking of that? For me, for the coaches, I think they're tougher than maybe we thought they were. And, again, it's kind of that resiliency. I was trying to paint the picture of, some guys bouncing back or following up a negative with a positive or the right approach. And that is a sign of toughness. And there's been varying degrees of that have shown up during the spring, too, that quite frankly were a question mark. And it's good that it's there. We'll see how consistent it can be, or better yet, if it's something that grows as the season goes along, because Simo and Burke have, been a part of two very different teams, but two teams that had their own definition of success. And this is a brand new team that's different. So we need to write our own version, but you've got lessons learned along the way. And you obviously want to add the level of toughness that's worked for our program in the last few years.
What have you seen from KT this year that he's changed from last
He's, his nutrition and body has become something that's very, very serious to him. Like his defense became his second year. Using the whole field has become a big thing. So he just becoming a pro. I would put it all under that label, just becoming a pro. And he prepares like it, he acts like it, and he plays like it. So it's nice to kind of have that rock, or something that's, solid you can count on in the outfield every day, because he's going to run the bases the right way, play defense and communicate the right way, and then he's certainly capable at the plate as well.
You said you didn't think his home run was gone. What was your viewpoint from the dugout?
My viewpoint was to hit the top of the fence. I don't know what happened after that, but we got to talk at home plate about the ground rules, and our batter's eye will change next season. But for now, it's you can talk about the shape of it, but the bottom line is a ball can hit it and kind of bounce back. So however it rattled around out there, I don't know, but I do know this: we've got a few guys that Coach Q has worked with that when they hit it. And sometimes they just, like KT's a guy that's just got to touch it. He's just got to get it on the barrel. It'll go.
Coach, I think